Hello and welcome for my class report for the week number 7. Today we're talking about not much of new features, but the way we do stuff, it's a little bit different than before. So like you see, everything still works just the same as before. You can add a new contact, type in, and it's going to be adding there. You can delete a contact. Once it's deleted, you click on it, there's nothing there, so you completely deleted the contact. Let me refresh here. Once we refresh, you'll bring it back because it's part of our mock contacts so far. And but today we're going to be talking about the documents portion of the app. As you can see, just the same as with the contacts. You can edit, but we haven't got to the edit part for the documents. You can delete, and that will be deleted before. If we refresh, it will bring it back, just like it was doing it before. And but right now we're gonna go over the code of what we did this time. So let's start with the document service TS. So right now we are doing subscriptions and observables. So it looks much leaner, the coding right now, and much easier to understand. So the first thing that we had to do is create a subscription object. So but first we had to create the add document portion of it. And the add document, first we had to create max document ID, and then get max ID, which is right here. So we had to create this function, and this pretty much was given to us in the instruction. So we first set the ID to 0, and we create a for loop for the document, and we do a comparison. And then if the document ID is greater than the max ID, you change the max ID to the current ID. And then it's going to return the max ID. So that's what that's what it was given to us. After that, we had to change what do we have to change? We had to change the constructor. So we added this part to this construction. So we can have the document IDs and the max ID there to match. After that, we had to create a add document, and pretty much the same. We're just following the instructions here. So if there's not a new document, we just return the paper. And then after that, we had to create like this to max document. So this will add a document to the document ID. So we'll create a new ID. So the new document ID is going to be the new max document ID to string. And then we need to push the new document to the new document. And after that, we had to create a constant document list clone. So it clones the document. So in this will be equal to the document, and the slice is just the way it's sorted out. So it will be just the same as the document, and then the list change will push the next document of the list clone. After that, we had to create the update document, pretty much following the instructions as well. If the original document or the new document is undefined or null, then you would just return. And then we have to have the POS to be equal to the document. index, which use the index off to index the documents for you. And then if the POS is less than 0, it's gonna just return, not gonna do anything pretty much. It will just end the function. And then we have like the new document ID equals the original document ID. And then we have the document as a POS, so it's gonna push that document to the documents, and it's gonna be your new document. And after that, we had to create the delete document. Pretty much, you just if the document, if there's no if the document is undefined, he would just end the function. But this is what it's going to do if you create a new POS, which is like the document in the index of that document. And if POS is less than 0, it's just going to return because this is an invalid number. But then it's going to do a POS document and then change it. And then this document list is going to be slide, and then it will push the next event, which will delete the document for you. And then we had to do the same thing for the contact list services. But for that, we need to create the delete. Get contact was pretty much the add and update, pretty much. And which is pretty much the same as in the document here. We also had to change document details and contact list components to do a subscription instead what we were doing before. And that just made it our code a little bit less convoluted. So you just subscribe now instead of embedding and creating a whole nother function there. And it's pretty much the same here. You just subscribe, and then we have the observables here. Let's see. And yeah, so that's pretty much what we had to do this week. We did not have to create a new component here or change anything here for right now. We still have to do the edit. I think that's going to be next week. And but that's where we are at. Thank you very much.